Jaxson Dart yesterday. Looks like Giants Twitter. My boy Authentic went live. He didn't even know he was gonna go live. He went live, had a good live, and a bunch of Giants content creators were just thrown off guard by. I don't want to say that you guys didn't expect this to happen. You knew it would happen eventually, but I don't think you guys expected it to happen this early. As going
Week
into
4 is just wild. I didn't expect it to be this early.
I predicted that it would be around this time. I said from week 4 to like 6, I think that's a good time for him to come in. I just didn't want him to come in during a time where you guys are going to be playing the Eagles or something like that. I don't. Yeah. Again, we'll get into why I think this is a good thing here, but to me, I think this is a fantastic time for him to start. It's not a divisional or conference game like I mentioned, so you give him some of the cushion that he needs as a first time starter. I mean, you're going against a Super Bowl caliber team, right? Mm-hmm. And there's going to be a lot of things after this game to be more optimistic about than to actually be like sour about if he doesn't have a good game, in my opinion. Because if he wins, he'll be celebrated, right? Damn, He beat the Chargers. If he looks okay and they lose, Giants fans will be optimistic, of course, after this. If he doesn't look good, well, then he got reps against a really good Super Bowl caliber team. So if there's a way to look at it, guys, I would say for all the Giants fans out there, it would be those 3 things more than anything. Somebody can say whatever the negative consequences from this happening. I just don't see it being negative. He's waited his turn. Russell looked good in the Cowboys game. Looked really bad last game, and it was just time. I think you saw what you needed to see, and plus, Brian Daboll, of course, is on the hottest of hot seats. If you guys don't,
that dude's sitting on the hot grease right now. He's sitting on the stove.
Yeah, he's literally in the fry basket of where you dump the fries in McDonald's. That's where he's at right now. But he gets to get to New Orleans as the next week as a tune-up game from this game. Yeah. And then you go into Philly, and they come to your home turf and play them. You guys play them on Thursday Night Football. I think this is a great progressional move for him as a starter. Hey, you get beat up your first game, we get to come back and evaluate. You should beat the New Orleans Saints if things look up, and then going against Philly, against your obviously conference or divisional rival. But as a Giants fan, what should the expectations be, man?
I think putting expectations to begin with is something that we just shouldn't do. We ruined Daniel Jones by putting too high expectations on him without a good surrounding cast, and we saw what happened there. You're going up against a Super Bowl caliber team in the Chargers, who, in my opinion, I have them in the Super Bowl right now, actually. So you can't expect much from a rookie quarterback in general, but especially against a defense as good as the Chargers and against a guy who might be auditioning to be the Giants' next head coach, Jesse Minter. We can get into that later. That's not the topic of discussion right now, but that is an elite level defense, one of the best in the entire NFL. This was what I was concerned with. I made a tweet weeks before week 1 even kicked off saying, no matter how bad the Giants look to start the season, I do not want to see Jaxson Dart unless they were for some reason sitting their starters because they locked into a playoff game, which was unlikely from the beginning. So I didn't want to see Dart at all this season because I think it's going to go the same way it did with DJ. He's going to look solid. He's going to show flashes. He's going to get beat up a lot. But, I mean, let's be honest. Daboll and Shane, they're trying to save their jobs right now. This is their last-ditch effort. But I think even if the Giants win, like, say, 7 games, I don't see a reality where Brian Daboll and Joe Shane are still employed by the Giants organization next year. Definitely Brian Daboll. You never know what's going to happen with Shane because his last 2 drafts have been really spectacular. But Daboll, I'm sorry, me and you were talking about this the other night. All the dude does is crash out. The play calling is vanilla at best, and you could say, oh, Kafka's the OC, he's calling the plays. Last year, the play calling looked worse. Who was calling the plays then? Brian Daboll. So I don't want to hear it. There's no excuses. Hopefully they unlock the playbook a little bit. They could run more RPO. They can move the QB around a little bit. They can move the pocket around. But he's going to get hit a lot. I think we'll see more stuff over the middle. Hopefully it's not just pure, because with Russ, it's been either 50 yards downfield or checkdowns. There's no in between at all with Russell Wilson recently. So, I mean, it's going to be bad. It's going to be good. It's going to be all of in between. I mean, we're going to see a lot of stuff. I don't know what really to expect. I say don't put really high expectations and don't put too low of expectations. If the guy looks like Josh Rosen, obviously you have a problem, but you can't expect the dude to come in and look like an all-pro either.
Yeah, it's kind of a godsend for two different ways for Jaxson Dart. And this is one of those situations, like if you fail with this guy on your team, Brian Daboll could take a note out of the guy that was supposed to elevate J.J. McCarthy into this otherworldly quarterback, and his name is KOC. But Brian Daboll is supposed to be this quarterback guy too, the way that he had, turned around Josh Allen. And
I'm sorry to interrupt, but Brian Daboll's QB record besides Josh Allen is abysmal dog shit. So I'm tired of hearing that Brian Daboll is some QB guru. Let's stop.
Yeah, I would tend to agree with you, but that's what gets said, and that's the excuse that gets made all the time is like, well, Daniel Jones must suck because Brian Daboll couldn't have done anything with it. Like, we'll get into him later. Yeah. But Malik Neighbors is there. He's a godsend, and unlike J.J. McCarthy, who didn't want to target Justin Jefferson or put it in his chess piece at all during that game until the second half, he better target Malik Neighbors 10 times. Mm-hmm. You talk about a guy that we talked about before that we might have had Marvin Harrison Jr. at one because we saw what he did, but there was like, when we got to digging into everything, it was like, man, Malik Neighbors might be the more athletic freak out of it, and he might, and he might be better, and he has been better thus far. So he better target him at least 10 times in this game. I think anything outside of 10 targets from Malik Neighbors in this game, as far as play calling is involved, is you need to have your head on the chopping block. The other guy that should thrive because of this, I'm looking at him as like in a Trey Harris type role. And this is a guy that hasn't really broken out. This is a guy that won the Biletnikoff Trophy in college. And Jalen Hyatt, Jaxson Dart, that's all he was known for, was throwing the ball downfield accurately to Trey Harris his whole career. If Jalen Hyatt cannot get open and catch balls from Jaxson Dart, I don't know what to tell you.
They won't even put the guy on the field. In week 2, Jalen Hyatt didn't even take a single snap. So it's like, I don't know what to expect. I mean, it all comes back to coaching at the end of the day, because you could say it's the offensive line. Jermaine Illuminor and Andrew Thomas both had above a 90% pass blocking grade on Sunday Night Football against the Chiefs. The interior is still dog shit, but I mean, it's workable. You have Malik Neighbors, top 3 receiver in the league, arguably top 2. Wandale, very good receiver 2. You got Slayton, good receiver 3. You got good guys in the backfield, 𝗕𝘂𝘀𝗶𝗲 and Tracy. It all comes back to coaching. There's no excuses anymore.
Yeah, I agree with that. But again, what comes down to this whole thing at the end of the day is the personnel groupings, right? Like, if you're not going to appease to what you saw in Jaxson Dart in college, which is his downfield accurate ball. Yeah. One thing that I criticized him for, but one thing that Jalen Hyatt and Malik Neighbors are going to love, and what you showed against the Cowboys, that these guys can get open. Even Wan'Dale Robinson has been getting open downfield. So there's no excuse why you don't launch this bitch down the field and try to get a score with the guy that did it in college. I think it would be unexcusable if we don't at least see 10 deep shots in this game.
Yeah, I agree.
And then on the other side of this, and this kind of like my last point, is 𝗕𝘂𝘀𝗶𝘀𝗀𝘀 is also a fellow rookie that is going to get more of the snaps because Tyrone Tracy is not the healthiest right now. Yep. And we saw how, I don't know if you guys saw the clip, but this is a guy that went up to Russell Wilson trying to hype him up and get his head in the game. Like, let's go, man. A guy that had over 10 yards or 100 yards of production in his last game and kind of broke out. And he's going to be the guy that can instill the confidence inside of Jaxson Dart, because he's like, bro, I've been playing in these games. I got the NFL speed down after 3 weeks.
I've been blocking with my helmet.
Yeah. Now it's time for you to step up. And that's good, because he's going to have another fellow rookie that's trying to prove himself still. 3 weeks, you're still a rookie, but it's nice to have somebody that's there kind of on your same level, that's like, hey, man, we're going to do this together. And we got the pieces around us that can get it done. Like you said, the interior of that offensive line is still, dog crap.
John Michael Shitz needs to retire, bro. That dude is garbage.
God. But all I heard was that Mohamed Ibrahim had him at Minnesota. Rest in peace to the legend, by the way.
Didn't that dude break his spine or something? What happened to Mohamed Ibrahim?
He had messed up his knee the first snap of the game in like preseason one year, and then the next season he broke his leg.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, now he's a coach at Minnesota now. So rest in peace to the legend now.
Oh, that's cool.
But yeah, if 𝗕𝘂𝘀𝗶𝘲𝗀𝗂 can instill the confidence into Jaxson Dart that it's kind of obvious now if you watch Arizona State, Sam Leavitt ain't the quarterback that everybody thought he was. I mean, let's be honest here. A lot of us had him in the top 10, and it's kind of looking sussy.
He was my number one quarterback this year, but I mean, he's not.
But
really
maybe Cam had a lot to do with that. Maybe
Cam the dude had 2,300 yards from scrimmage.
Yeah. Well, I'm saying that as far as like being a teammate that he can be, and that's why I want to make this point for this is like he could probably be what he was to Sam Leavitt as he can be to Jaxson Dart. But
yeah.
That's kind of what I have on this whole situation, man. I'm not the biggest Jaxson Dart fan. I don't want to ever say that dude is garbage until I'm like, man, I really don't see what people see in him. But obviously, if he can clean up the things he can do in an intermediate game, and we saw that a lot during the preseason. I think this is a lot to build upon.
Yeah, I just think like simplify the offense. Don't make it vanilla, but make it crystal clear what needs to be done. You don't need this dude I don't know, man. It's like Daboll. I don't even know how to explain Daboll anymore. Like what we saw his first year, Jesus Christ took the wheel. There's no other way to explain it. I don't know how we made the playoffs. The last 3 years have just been horrible. So I have no expectations personally. I hope the guy doesn't get killed like DJ did. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, don't need him to get killed for sure. It does look better though. I mean, if Russ survives, I'm sure Jackson's probably more athletic than Russ at this point. Russ is severely taking a step back when it came to being we used to call him the Houdini back in the day. But for those that don't know, Jaxson Dart, obviously first-round quarterback. They traded up at pick 25 to get him. Just a little background for guys that don't watch college here. He was 3rd in passing yards last year and 10th in passing touchdowns. With a Trey Harris that wasn't in every single game because of injury, which Trey Harris, if you guys don't know, plays for the Chargers right now. So both of these guys are NFL caliber weapons.